Ambrose George says he's willing to serve government but not in cabinet. Dominica launches the Real Mass 2015 with calls for a fresh approach to the cultural festival. And the UWP and the DPSU defend the port security officer fired in connection with the Lennox Linton crabback issue. I am Lurian Graham with the Channel 5 News. Details after this.
Strong preparation. Strong concentration. Strong teamwork. Strong nerve. Strong performance. Strong oil. Volkswagen recommends Castrol Edge, our strongest oil. Castrol, it's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering.
Beauty-Wise on Hanover Street in Roseau carries a wide assortment of wigs and weaves, including Brazilian or Malaysian hair and Indian Remy in various lengths and styles, and Expression and 100% Canicolon for all your braiding needs. Beauty-Wise offers hair products from African Pride, Revlon, and hair clippers for men in quality brands like Wall and Andes. Come to Beauty-Wise for your intimates, hosiery, personal hygiene, and salon products, and a wide array of accessories in gold and silver. Beauty-Wise, the wise one-stop shop for beauty supplies.
Ozone. Use Ozone. 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 Never done till the dirt is gone. Ozone.
Dominica.
Upgrade Sublime. Upgrade. Up.
You've got a $60 million upgrade. With this massive upgrade to our network, we're making Dominica one of the best connected countries in the world. Giving you greater reliability and 100% super fast 4G coverage.
Upgrade Sublime. Upgrade.
Upgrade Dominica. Upgrade to 100% super fast 4G coverage.
Get up to 50% off in the season's biggest sale event of 2014 at Quartz, with prices slashed even further in a massive Christmas clearance on a range of items across the store. Now is the time to get all you need this Christmas: electronics, appliances, furniture, and even more. Offers on from Sunday, December 14th to Sunday, December 21st. But don't wait. Shop now, because stock is limited. It's the season's biggest sale event with up to 50% off. This offer applies to both cash and credit purchases. So get to a Quartz store near you now.
In the news, former government minister Ambrose George has decided to bow out of active politics after 19 years in the Dominica Labour Party.
George, the immediate past Minister of Information, Telecommunications and Constituency Empowerment, lost his seat to UWP's Joshua Francis at the December 8 polls. He is the current deputy leader of the Labour Party.
I have conceded defeat. I've also congratulated Mr. Joshua Francis, well, Honorable Joshua Francis now, for his success at the polls. And I have decided personally to stay out of the active politics, meaning out of Parliament, and not to accept any position within the cabinet of the government.
George says he informed the Prime Minister before a possible offer that he was not interested in a cabinet post. However, he says he will accept a position in which he can serve government and the people of Dominica.
I have not been given any confirmation, so to speak, as to the role that I may be expected to play within the government. It's something that is left to the Prime Minister to decide on. I'm sure that at some point in time I'll be called upon to have the discussion and to probably look at the offer which is being made and to determine where do I go from here. But at the moment I am at home doing my private business. I have my farm, my greenhouses, which I continue to tend to. I have my business in town, which I'm also paying more attention to.
During his ministerial stint, George has been dismissed on 2 occasions, first by then Prime Minister Pierre Charles in 2000 and after a cabinet reshuffle by Prime Minister Skerrit in 2008. He considers that he served his people well. What would be your advice to parliamentarians?
Well, for any new parliamentarian or ongoing parliamentarian, my advice would be to keep in touch with your constituents. I think if there's one lesson to be learned at the last elections on December 8th, is really being close. I refer to it as touching hands with your constituents.
In retrospect, are you suggesting that may have put you at an disadvantage at the polls?
To some extent, because as I have indicated to all the media houses that I have not been the person who over the years have been doing house to house to the extent that I should have been doing it. I've been there since 1995. I don't recall doing any extensive house to house during that period, 95 to 2000. Then from 2000 and beyond, I relied more on my stewardship, my performance, dealing with people on a one-on-one basis through the constituency office, in my office as a minister, and so that has been my style of politics or representation, if you want to call it so.
In other news, Dominica's tourism statistics for 2014 show the island's rich cultural diversity has boosted visitor arrivals, this from the Minister of Tourism. Senator Robert Tong says the promotion of Dominica's Carnival continues to make the island a major player with regards to Carnival in the Caribbean.
The government of Dominica recognizes the great value of Carnival and the role it plays in generating much-needed foreign exchange, creating jobs for large numbers of people, and bringing about greater social cohesion and unity. Our data reveals in 2014 that there was a 33.8% increase in stay-over arrivals for Carnival over 2013, so we are already improving. There were 4,181 persons who stayed for the week leading up to Carnival, which represented 20% of our first quarter visitor arrivals.
The newly appointed Minister for Tourism was speaking at the official launch of Dominica's 2015 Carnival. The theme for Carnival 2015 is C'est la vie nous. Still in tourism, Minister for Culture Justina Charles has warned against the status quo, cautioning that the standards of our carnival be raised to prevent stagnation. Charles says the island must be innovative while paying attention to standards and presentation of costumes. She says the Division of Culture is making plans for the Old Mass Festival to be held in Dalis.
The Division of Culture is also collaborating with stakeholders in the Kalinago territory to host a Tet Mass workshop in January. This is in an effort to train more persons in making these costumes to be more innovative and to explore the use of a wider range of material in the design and making of these costumes.
The minister says greater attention must be given to the various opportunities that allows Dominica to showcase and promote Carnival in regional and international markets.
The Sense Band, especially those from Grand Bay, that's my constituency, are an example of this. They now perform at various occasions such as the Test Match and other sports and cultural events here and abroad. This is the way to go.
And Chairman of the Dominica Festivals Committee says Carnival is a cultural experience that has the potential to market the island. Colin Piper says Carnival is one of the 3 events that the DDA is really trying to push as the cornerstone of our festival tourism program.
We need to continue to use Carnival to market the destination. Year over year, Carnival is responsible for at least 3,000 visitors during that week leading up to Carnival, many from the region and some from further afield.
Piper says in order for Dominica to use Carnival as a marketing tool, it is necessary to ensure that the product offering presents value for money. He says the best way to do so is to invest in product development.
There is economic activity in festivals and its ancillary offerings. We know that events draw people with a predisposition to enjoy themselves, and in doing so, they spend in hotels, in restaurants, on rental cars, at grocery stores, at gas stations, and join mass bands. And so goes the cycle.
This is Channel 5 News. Coming up, more on the airport crabback issue.
Distinct, authentic, with a storied history. This is not just a drink, it is an attitude, a straight-up approach where the brown-nosing conformers need not apply. It's embracing a chilled manner that leaves the hysteria to the bridesmaids and standing up against the sameness, blandness, and colorless. It's striving for extraordinary, because after all, who wants the ordinary? Appleton Estate. That's how I like it.
Spark the holiday spirit with a festive feast from KFC. Enjoy a generous amount of chicken with delicious home-style sides and a refreshing drink. KFC, so good.
The magic of mobile insurance is at your fingertips. Download the Beacon Buddy app today to renew your insurance and check on your claims from anywhere in the world. Don't worry, get happy.
Make their wishes come true at Courts this Christmas. Gifts for Dad you know he'll love. Something special just for Mom. And gifts for Big Brother and Sister too. Shop today and pay absolutely nothing until February 2015 on 24 months and over accounts. So complete your gift list this Christmas only at Courts, bringing value home.
Christmas is just around the corner, but don't worry, Deepex Color Lab has got you covered. That's right, from now until December 27th, visit us to take advantage of special discounts. Enlarge your printed photos as low as $5 per print. Create personalized mugs as a special gift. Print a selfie on a t-shirt. Engrave glasses, make a personalized calendar, all at special rates this Christmas only at Deepex Color Lab.
Welcome back. Political leader of the UWP is demanding the reinstatement of a port security officer who was fired because of the crabback controversy. In October, UWP leader Lennox Linton was prevented from traveling with a quantity of crabbacks by a port security officer, but he was allowed to hand them back to his driver. In a letter dated December 15 and signed by Port Authority CEO, the security officer was dismissed. The letter stated that his allowing Linton to return the crabbacks home has caused the authority to lose confidence in him as an employee. The letter stated that the crabbacks should have been seized and that the security officer had acted in violation of the Security Department's standard operating procedures relating to passengers attempting to travel with wildlife without the required permit. Linton says the situation is a travesty, saying the actions against the security officer constitute blatant victimization against an innocent man who is considered a model in terms of his professional conduct, his commitment to ethics, and his ability to work well with people. In related news, the Public Service Union is not taking lightly the circumstances in which a port security officer was dismissed from the job last Friday. General Secretary of the PSU, Thomas Later, says the trade union will pursue an appeal of that matter.
We believe that his dismissal was unfair. We do not believe that his action should be considered as gross misconduct, because it was a situation where he used his discretion and he allowed the traveler to bring back the items, which in that case were cooked crabbacks.
The employee has been identified as Vescott Jones of Marigot. A disciplinary hearing in the matter took place 3 weeks ago. This was after Jones had allowed UWP leader Lennox Linton to give the crabbacks back in his traveling bag to his driver from the outside of the airport screening area, since Linton did not have a permit. According to the Forestry and Wildlife Act, no person shall export any live or dead wildlife or parts thereof except under a permit and in accordance with the conditions specified in such a permit.
And the union has assured him that we are fully behind him. We will meet whatever legal cost to make sure that he is represented. But it's not something that we're going to allow to go by. We have examples of other people and other high-ranking people in society who were allowed to travel with certain items. We have information, we have concrete information of people who had similar items and the items were taken from them without a permit. They were not allowed to travel with the items, and we're asking ourselves, why was this gentleman singled out?
Now on to health. Minister of Health, Dr. Kenneth Daru, says it is time to explore revolutionary ideas for the health sector. Dr. Daru revealed plans for the nursing staff in the upcoming year.
In support of the United Nations Millennium Development Goal number 4, we continue our efforts in making service strategic interventions to include continuous training to our nursery staff, structural changes implemented by the Dominica Reduction in Infant Mortality Program, which is being funded by the European Development Fund, monitoring of conformance to infection prevention and control practices. This monitoring is facilitated by utilizing an infection control and prevention performance assessment tool by the Quality and Infection Control departments.
Dr. Daru says within the past 12 months, the PMH has received a significant amount of medical equipment to the tune of EC $2.2 million.
It is indeed both challenging and exciting times for the health sector as we continue to attempt to deliver a quality, modern, and comprehensive health product to our citizens right here in Dominica. And whilst we still have a long way to go, none can deny the advances that we have made in recent times.
Dr. Daru gave his first speech as new Minister of Health and the Environment at a closing ceremony of the President's Hospital visit on Wednesday. And disadvantaged children continue to benefit from gifts from the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association Holiday Gift Program. Crew personnel from the MV Celebrity Equinox delivered the gifts on Thursday. The presentation took place at the Public Service Building.
From Celebrity Cruises, which is a part of the Royal Caribbean International Organization.
Right, and today you've come as part of the FCCA to present gifts for the Dominican children. What level of support has your cruise line been giving to this program over the years?
Well, our cruise line, Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruises, which is our vessel, Celebrity Equinox, is supporting in any kind of events all around for these Caribbean islands and down in the general West Indies. Any kind of organization that they would like to give assistance to any not so much privileged group of people.
200 children from western and eastern villages received gifts. The FCCA is able to sustain this program through hosting auctions and fundraisers.
And every year they make it their duty to ensure that the ships that visit the islands are able to provide packages for the children. You have the Children Fund and the various agencies working along with the Discover Dominica, and they identify the kids that require the assistance. And so through that, a list is compiled, and that list is then, I guess, vetted with the Child Fund and the other agencies.
Coming up, the women of Harlem United and New India Goodwill Runners give a good account for themselves. This and more in sports next.
Spark the holiday spirit with a festive feast from KFC. Enjoy a generous amount of chicken with delicious home-style sides and a refreshing drink. KFC, so good.
kick off with some football. Ladies first, as the league leaders in the Dominic Women's Football League, Harlem United picked up their 5th win of the season, while the defending champs, New India Goodwill Runners, bounced back from their first defeat of the season with a win over Woodford Hill.
Defending champions New India Goodwill Runners made amends for last weekend's defeat, while the match between league leaders Dominica Harlem United and Maosuka Strikettes ended prematurely as action continued last night in the Dominic Women's League. The defending champs bounced back from defeat last week with a 4-2 win over Wood City Strikers at the Bafesket playing field. Rosilia Regis swung the back of the nets twice for Goodwill Runners, with one each from Tasha Gis and Kiraya Sayers. Shanika Yankee and Tabik Lockhart scored for Wood City. While at the Newtown playing field, the match between league leaders Dominica Harlem United and Maosuka Strikettes was blown off 25 minutes into the second half. Maosuka Strikettes, who started the match with 9 players, suffered further setbacks on the field, while with other players sustaining injuries and could not complete the match. The head coach conceded defeat, leaving the match official to end the game with 20 minutes left to play. Spurs at the time were 4-0 in favor of Harlem United. 2 goals came from Ali Jettit, with one each from Naima Africa and Ivana Amabel. The league continues tonight with West Coast Jaguars taking on Bomber Starlight at the Dubla playing field at 6 p.m.
In athletics, Cuban-born athlete Yordandis Garcia is of the view that Dominica's facilities for track and field needs to be upgraded urgently if Dominica is to achieve its full potential. Garcia, who is ranked number 8 in the world in triple jump, now represents Dominica. He recorded a personal best of 17.20 meters in August of this year. Garcia has his eyes set on representing Dominica at the 2016 Olympics in Brazil.
Here is the facility for training, because when you train for, say, the top 10 in the world, you need track and field. You need track and field because you cannot train in grass, you know. In grass, you can train the preparation, the September, October, November. That's really good. But January, February, these months, you need track and field. You need to prepare hard because you competition with the other athletes in the world. So the other athlete training track and field, the preparation really stronger in track and field.
And in terms of helping younger athletes here in Dominica, what sort of words of advice would you have for them, given that you're among the best in the world right now? What sort of words of advice would you have for the younger athletes coming up in Dominica?
Okay. When you're coming up and young athlete, you know, you need your mind very strong, your mind, and you need training every day. You need working hard for you can get in the future a big jumping or good time for running. You need your mind very strong, and you follow your training every day.
Meantime, President of the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, Cedric Harris, is describing 2014 as a good year for the sport of track and field. He says while Dominica did well in overseas competition, there is still more room for improvement.
This year has been a good year for athletics in Dominica, seeing that at our major championships that's outside of Dominica, we did very well. OECS games, we went in there with 3 athletes and we came out with 2 medals, national records and OECS records. At the Carifta games, we had went to a big team but came out with 2 Carifta records and gold medals. We went on to the Windward Island School Games. Actually, it wasn't the Athletic Association, but majority of the athletes who were on the team came from the association, and they did pretty well, coming out second at that level. And I don't say go on and on. We had the Pan Am Festival later down in the year, where we had 3 competitors, 2 gold medals, 1 regional record, national record, and went on to the Commonwealth Games with the match. We had 7 athletes there. We had 5 finalists, 1 semi-finalist. So I can say in all, I mean, the performances have been showing good, that the athletes are working hard, and the little resources that we have, we are still producing class athletes.
In some basketball, Mount Prosper Lightning Strikers edged out the Emsal Mafia by just 2 points as action continued in the Roseau Valley Basketball League on Thursday. Mount Prosper took the match 60-58. For the Strikers, Lindell Mayers got 23 points and Peter Allen 11. For D Mafia, Dave Alexis got 23 and Tristan Lewis 13 points. On to cricket news. National cricketer Jelani Robinson is hoping to make a good impression as he fights for selection to the combined college and campuses team. Robinson, a former under-19 national and Windward Islands captain, is among a number of players participating in trials in Barbados for the combined CC. On Wednesday, Robinson scored 41 as he led his team to 193 for 4, replying to a target of 191. Calvin Hodge also scored 23 in that match. Robinson is hoping to build on the scores and secure a spot on the team.
Well, so far it has been going good. A lot of hard work. I mean, playing here in Barbados where all the facilities are at the highest standard, it's a lot of energy being removed from the body because the hours you normally work back home, basically 2 hours. When you come up here, the hours are extended. You work almost 6 hours to 7 hours a day. And then, but in the end of the day, you start seeing results. You know, we play the games so far. Everybody is impressed with what they've been saying. You know, it's a lot of hard work. We have about 4 or 5 more days left of this intense training. So hopefully by the end of the 5 days, you know, it'll be good reports.
In more cricket, the West Indies will be hoping that their 12th man can stay and occupy the crease a lot longer, because that's the only way they will be able to secure a positive result in the first test with South Africa. The 12th man was so solid in defense on day 2 that the West Indies ended the day with all 10 wickets in hand. Okay, that's enough of the joking around. The 12th man I'm referring to is actually the rain, and the rain pretty much stands in the way of a heavy defeat for the West Indies. The inexperienced batting lineup will be put to the test on Friday as the West Indies begin their response to South Africa's mammoth 552 for 5 declared. Amla scored 208, A.B. de Villiers 152, and Van Zyl 101 on debut. Ben picked up 2 for 148 and Kemar Roach 2 for 52. Meantime, Kemar Roach has sustained no major damage to his right ankle and he's hopeful of bowling again in the first test against South Africa. Roach says he heard his ankle pop with a ball to go in his 16th over and immediately asked for medical attention. He left the field with assistance and was taken for an MRI scan, which revealed no ligament damage. Meantime, the WICB has announced that left-handed batsman Asad Fudaddin has been ruled out of the ongoing 3-match test series with South Africa. The 29-year-old suffered a fracture on his little finger on the right hand during warm-up on the opening day of the first test. He underwent surgery late Wednesday and a replacement player will be named in the coming days. And still in cricket, standing captain Steve Smith remained unbeaten for the series as Australia closed Day 2 on the second test, 187 runs behind India. Smith, who replaced the injured Michael Clarke as captain, made 65 not out, leading the Australian recovery. Earlier on, India resuming on 311 for 4, lost 6 wickets for 97 runs to be dismissed for 408. Pacer Josh Hazelwood finished with 5 for 68 on test debut, while wicketkeeper Brad Hardin equaled the Australian record for most dismissals in a test innings with 6 catches. The scores heading into day 3, which is already underway on Sportsmarks: India 408, Australia 221 for 4. The Australians trail by 187 runs with 6 wickets in hand. That's all the time for sports. I'm Garfield Nichols.
Your weather report is next.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I am your presenter, Vernie Master Honoré. Today, earlier satellite imagery showed mostly cloudy skies across the northern portion of the chain as a frontal system continued to affect the area. Meanwhile, some low-level clouds moved across the central portion of the chain, resulting in partly cloudy skies. Earlier radar imagery indicated a few scattered showers across the area today. Tonight's weather is expected to be partly cloudy with a few scattered showers. Temperatures are expected to be as low as 20 degrees Celsius. Similar conditions can be expected tomorrow, partly cloudy skies with some scattered showers, with temperatures expected to peak near 29 degrees Celsius. Sea conditions tomorrow, moderate in open water with swells peaking up to 7 feet. And looking ahead, partly cloudy skies with some showers can be expected into Saturday, with an improvement to fair to partly cloudy skies on Sunday as a high-pressure system re-establishes itself across the area. And across the region tomorrow, a slight increase in cloudiness with some scattered showers can be expected across the central and southern portion of the chain as the frontal system dissipates. And on the international scene, clear skies can be expected in New York and Miami, partly cloudy skies with some showers in London and Caracas, and partly cloudy skies in Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 6:26 a.m. and will set at 5:39 p.m. For further information, visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for joining us this evening. Have a good night.
This is Channel 5 News, the headlines. Ambrose George says he's willing to serve government, but not in cabinet. Dominica launches the Real Mass 2015 with calls for a fresh approach to the cultural festival. And the UWP and the DPSU defend a port security officer fired in connection with the Lennox Linton crabback issue. Send your questions and comments to news@mapping2k4.com. For instant access to the news, download the TurnUp 767 app. On behalf of the production team, I am Lurian Graham. Thank you for watching.